Every banknote remains legal tender and should not be rejected by anyone, the Central Bank of Nigeria has disclosed. The Apex Bank has also directed all its branches across the country to continue to issue different denominations of the old and redesigned banknotes in adequate quantities to deposit money banks. The Apex Bank stressed that every banknote that it has issued remains legal tender and should not be rejected by anyone. This disclosure was contained in a public statement issued by the Director of Corporate Communications of the CBN, AbdulMumin, on Wednesday in Abuja. Issa said the directive follows reports of scarcity of cash across some major cities in the country, despite initial assurances by the CBN of sufficient cash stock in all locations across the country. Issa further advised members of the public to reduce the pressure on the use of physical cash and embrace alternative modes of payment. And the federal government has described as worrisome the rise in public expenditure amidst dwindling revenue accruals. The Accountant General of the Federation, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Madain, stated this on Wednesday at an interactive section on the 2024-2026 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper organized by the head of Representative Committee on Finance. And Mrs. Madain, however, assured the lawmakers that efforts are ongoing to block revenue leakages and increase revenue generations. According to her, the revenue generations and its allocations are dwindling in comparison with the expenditure set against the money collected. The AGF also pleaded with the committee to assist the office with all the plans, strategies and ideas to support the efforts to increase revenue generation. Addressing newsmen at the event, Chairman, House Committee on Finance, Abiodun described the MTF as the basis of the annual budget, which is itself the backbone of the implementation of federal government's plans and policies. And away from that, the Senate has summoned the Managing Director of Nigerian Gas Marketing Company, Justin Ezeala, over gas sales, purchase agreements, pricing without or with various companies, and non-compliance with due process in the ultra-compressed natural gas project with NIPCO Gas. The Senate, through its Committee on Gas, requested on Wednesday the details of gas sales and purchase agreements with gas companies. The committee, chaired by Senator Jarigbe, issued the summons after a closed-door section with committee members at the National Assembly. The committee, in its resolution at the end of the meeting, also expressed dissatisfaction with the decision of the Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, to prevent the National Assembly committees from overseeing subsidiaries of NNPCL. The committee further demanded financial records on the Auto CNG project with NIPCO, where NNPC Gas Marketing Limited has approved an investment of 30 billion naira. The Senate had last week met with Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ekpe, and requested that it provide the committee with important documents from the organization to allow for proper oversight. And also, the oil and gas sector in the country failed to attract any foreign investment for the first time in second quarter amid the global push for cleaner energy, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The NBS, in its Nigeria Capital Importation Report, stated that the federal government failed to convince IOCs to invest in the oil and gas sector between January and June. The report showed that the country had no foreign capital importation into the sector in the period under review. The report comes on the heels of various divestment efforts by international oil companies into cleaner energies to neighboring countries as a result of commitments to the United Nations agenda that seeks to cut emissions from fossil fuel to zero by 2050. Former President Muhammad Buhari, on behalf of Nigeria, pledged to attain net zero by 2060. The net zero race has since seen IOCs, including most indigenous oil companies, rebrand from full-fledged oil and gas to energy firms.